Salam aleikum, aleikum salam. Piano, derechito por guardarraya. It's very important for Mayombe practitioners to be able to distinguish the different physical components of all these arrows that all together they made of a Patipemba. These arrows or ensasa, first of all, I want to tell the viewers that I am aware of that in the Bantu language there are 7 dialects, and there are other words how we can say arrows in the Bantu dialect. But I want to keep it simple for our viewers, so let's keep it for this class as the word enzasa, so it will be easier for viewers to remember. Okay, now we're going to talk about the first arrow, and that is known in the Mayombe tradition as the guide arrow. This arrow is very important because in this guide arrow, that's where the Mfumbi, the spirit of the dead, the main spirit, the spiritual guide of the Nganga, where the Palo Priest has made a pact with this spirit of the dead. This spirit travel with this guide arrow and is able that once you have to draw on the ground a Patipemba, this Mfumbi, this main spirit, will be able to guide all the spirits to where the destination, where the spell has been sent to the person or to the place. So actually, the Mfumbi is the one who owns the guide arrow. And it's very important to understand these Bantu words, because Mfumbe, which actually is a dead spirit of the dead, a dark spirit who has not made any pact whatsoever with any paleros. But once this palero practitioner made a pact with this spirit, this Mfumbe becomes an Mfumbi. And in other words, it's going to be their protector, spiritual guide, and is the slave of the palero. That's a very different term when we refer to an endoki. An endoki is a dark spirit who has not been able to distinguish themselves, that they are trapped in between 2-dimensional worlds. That means in between the world of the living and the world of the dead, in between the physical world and in between the spiritual world. And these endokis are the ones who really have a hard time to accept that they are dead and they need to move on. Why? Well, because these Endokis are the one that in their past life they used to be attached more to all the vices, to all the things that they used to do when they were alive. An example, they can be drunkards, they can be killers, they can be drug dealers or drug user, addict, or they can be whores. And once they die, because most of this spirit, they die very premature and in an early stage of where they supposed to die out of time. And that's how they ended up out of time in a state of limbo. So they are not able to realize that they are not part anymore of the world of the living. And they keep walking through this state of limbo, suffering, because they want to continue to keep living in the world of the living how they used to live when they were alive. And these witches know this, and they use this as their benefit to make pact with this spirit Endoki. And in exchange of whatever this Endoki likes when they used to be alive, the witches are able to succeed in their spells because they exchange whatever the spirit likes in exchange of whatever the witches want this spirit to do with them. But then again, we got another spirit, the Ndundu. And remember, this Endoki spirit, I sometimes call it that they are the spirit that you can rent it because you pay or give them some offering, and then they might do a job for you, for the witches, and then they can return back to their original place. But we got another term that we say that they are the Ndundu. The Ndundu are a spirit that witches or Palo practitioners are able to make a pact to bring them into the living, the world of the living, and ask them to do the spell so the Palero can get the result they want. But there is a difference between the Endokis, because this spirit, once they are able, when they are done to do the mission that the Palero asked them to do, they might decide to go back and be part of the Nganga. And probably they don't want to go back to their original place. And in the Nganga, they will remain living inside with the Mfumbi, the spiritual guide or the main spirit that the Palero have made a pact. And inside they're going to be able to acquire more knowledge from the other spirit living in the Nganga. So by the next time that the Palero might need them to use them for another spell, this spirit will be able to go out again, do the mission of the Palero, and return back to the Nganga. Most of the Endoki, they might go out, they might do the job or the mission that the Palero asked them to do, but they will not return back to the Nganga.